Hey everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So today I am going to dedicate this whole video to Shauna. Shauna has been standing by for several weeks, kind of on the sidelines with the hand mold that we've been filling up. So because it took so many layers, I told her I'd put it in a lot of videos because it would take me ages to do one video and keep all those videos and try to figure it all out. So she agreed to go ahead and do it on each video. Now that it's done, and we're going to put the name, I talked to her, if you saw my video yesterday, there's just no way to put the lettering in here. It's just way too bumpy and it's just not gonna work, and I don't think it's right. So I asked her if I could put it on the back and she agreed to that. So I'm not going to just put a name on the back and be like done with the video. So no, Shauna, this video is dedicated to you and your son. She lost him. He was, it looks like 1 month shy of his 30th birthday. So I know, I can't believe how many people have lost their children that I'm finding out on my channel, and I'm very, very sorry. And like, this is the least that I could do. And if it brings any kind of joy to you to know that the ashes that you asked for in here, that's what you wanted, I want to give you exactly what you wanted. Now, I didn't use all the ashes. She sent too much, and I'm taking this upon myself. I didn't even ask her permission, but I don't think she's going to have a problem. But what I want to do today is give her her own video to look back on, of not only just putting the name and finishing this up for good. I'm going to take the rest of the ashes that she has, well, probably not the rest. That's a lot. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but it's a lot for resin work. I am going to make her some pendants, some beach scene pendants, and I'm going to put some of his ashes in the sand. And she could give them away to family members or do whatever she wants to do with them. But I'm going to make her several of them, and I'm also going to make her a little keepsake heart box that she could put whatever she wants in. I'm going to put the rest of his ashes in the box when I send it to her. And she had mentioned in a video that she loved the chameleon powder that turns from purple to blue, and this is, I think, the one that she's talking about. And I want to do the box portion that for her. I knew she wanted it in the hands, but I didn't get it in the hands on time. So I'm going to do it in this box. And then the top lid of the box, I am going to do my ballroom dance in fine, which is kind of the same glitter that is this. This was just a chunkier cut, a medium cut, and that's where his ashes were put in. So because she wanted the ashes in silver in here, I want to do them in silver in here, and it really won't change a lot, the glitter itself being that color. So that, I think, was a great choice on her part, and I'm just going to do the lid for her and that. So this little tiny box takes 3 ounces of resin. So before we start that, I'm going to go ahead and put the name on the back of the hands. So that's pretty simple. I cut it out on my Cricut in a script that could be legible enough, and all I'm going to do is just place it on here, and then I will be sending this off to her. I didn't want her to just be bits and pieces in everybody else's videos, so I hope you don't mind, Shauna, that I am making these decisions without you. I wanted you to have a little bit of a surprise when your box comes, and hopefully by the time the video comes out, you may be receiving the box at the same time. So this is strong grip transfer tape, which can be good and it can be bad. I have such a struggle getting my words and my lettering onto transfer tape that a lot of times I have to use painter's tape. But the problem with the painter's tape is you can't see through it. Although I did get a lighter painter's tape, somebody mentioned. I did get that, but with something this important, I had to get this on a transfer tape that I could see through. So getting it off is another thing. So it goes on this pretty well, but it also likes to hold onto it. So just take a little knife, something, and just coax it off one letter at a time. And I'm sure this isn't going to be moving in a billion places, so it should be just fine on the back of it for her. It's probably safer on the back, actually, I think, than on the hands, especially if she does put something in the hands. I would hate for this to get removed at one point. So you are seeing this in real time. Usually I speed this stuff up, but if you are thinking about getting a Cricut, you do need a little bit of patience. I did have to cut this several times because the fonts weren't working, they weren't weeding properly. So a lot of times if you're using the Cricut, I don't know, maybe you guys don't and get it always on the first try. I rarely get it on the first try. So I had to resize a few things, pick new fonts, and we finally got it to work. So you guys just see the end result. There's a lot of time involved. So yeah, I mean, I love the Cricut. I love what it can do. I love the things I can make, but you do have to have time to do it. All right, there's a little piece of glitter right there. It might be in the resin. Yeah, I think it's embedded in the resin. Well, there we go. What do you think? I like that starburst that we got on the last effect. So I think it's just more versatile to be on the back. It shouldn't, if it's in place, it shouldn't have anything to do with it. Any problems, I'm saying. All right, so I'm going to just set those aside. We're going to mix up 3 ounces of resin. I'm going to pour this one first. And then we're going to do these with the UV resin that I chose. But before that, let's just paint. Let me flip that over. Let's just paint the mica powder on. I think I'm going to do it this way. And then when I flip it back inside out, I will just touch it up. Hopefully that's a good plan. But I know she liked the color changing one. So I know she liked the blues and she liked the purples in that hand. So she chose a good one. You could already see the color changing. And I hope she could use this little tiny box for something. It'll find a place in her heart, I'm sure. I've got 3 ounces mixed up. I went with my casting resin today. Really no rhyme or reason. You could have used the casting, the 4-hour cure, or the epoxy resin for this project because any one of them works. So I just grabbed one. So before I pour and color this one black to get the full effect of the chameleon powder, I split up a 1/2 ounce of this one for the glitter and for the ashes. So I'm going to just scoop in a bunch of glitter. And clean this before I get the ashes out. I don't want to put glitter in there, or she will remember me forever. I think all my spoons have glitter on them, so bear with me. I'm I'm just gonna mix this up first and see how we're doing in this department, which should be fine. Oh, actually, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna dump it in. I need a little more. If I see clear on my stick, I usually just keep dumping. That's much better. Now I'm just gonna put a tiny little bit of ashes in here. Not too much. If I can get the bag open. There we go. And I'm just gonna mix it in. It can affect the color, so if you are going to use ashes in resin, just be mindful of what colors you're choosing. Like I said, she chose the perfect one, but it can dull this as well if you put too much in. I'm just gonna spray this with alcohol, so hopefully we don't get any bubbles. And if I need more, I can just add clear to this. I don't have to mix up any more, which I do need a little bit more. Barely, but I do. I'm just gonna kind of tuck it up underneath, making sure I can see through this mold actually, and I don't see any bubbles. So I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of clear in there to fill it up before I use this for my black. And then I'll just mix the glitter in to make sure it's evenly spaced. Bring it just over a little bit to dome it a little. This way we don't have a clear puddle on the back. All right, now I'm just going to clean my stick. Yes, I'm going to get some of my black pigment. Always mix your pastes before you use them. You don't need a lot, just what's on your stick after you wipe it off. You can make your own pigment paste. I have a video on that. I don't know what number it was. It was quite a while ago. You can make any color you want and you won't have to buy it anymore. All you need is a little bit of mica powder of your choice and some leftover resin that we all have from one bottle or the other, A or B, and mix them together. Go back and watch that video. It's pretty good, and I think I even did a sample project after I mixed mine to show you that it worked, because it's pretty much the same thing they're using, and you can make any color you want. And the reason people say, well, why do that? Just use the mica powders. Well, one, it's easier to mix pigment paste in your resin, and you don't have to use as much powder. You just barely use a little bit of paste, so that's why we do that. I'm just going to kind of pour this a little slow because it's a thin lip, and I want to make sure it gets around all these edges without getting bubbles if possible. I don't want to shove a stick down there because I don't want to disturb the powder. Actually, I'm going to just look at the sides because I could see through this mold and I don't see any bubbles, so that's good. Now I'm just gonna dome it, set it aside, and we'll get ready for the pendants. And of course I have some extra. So I think I will make some more beads out of these. I'm actually gonna just set this over to the side so I don't bump it while I'm working on the next thing. So for the beads, I figured I'd show you what I'm doing today for my extras. Anytime I have black, I like to add some sparkle dust to it, either the gold or the silver, a good enough amount, more than I would ever use in anything else, because it's gonna sink and you're gonna see it. So I'm just going to, and this is probably way too much resin for these beads, but give it a good mix, because the more you mix that sparkle dust, the more it'll go farther in your resin. And I think I'm going to actually transfer this to a cup that I can squish, because these holes are so small. I'll just do a little bit at a time. And hopefully I don't get bubbles. See how hard it is to get it in there? I'm already spilling. I will clean that up in a moment, because you're trying to go around the centerpiece and then around that top lip. It's very difficult. So you do have cleanup on these things, but in the end, when I can make these keychains, that'll be really super cool. I need a little bit more. Actually, I need a stick so I can use what I already poured. And then last time what I did, I just took a paper towel and I just wiped off the surface, so I didn't have a ton of trimming to do. And I'm just putting all these little beads I'm making into a little cup until I get enough to do something interesting. I didn't want all the same color on a keychain, so that's what I'm trying to do. Some, whoop, see how that goes? Getting it down in there is not easy. So I definitely have some cleanup to do. But they did come out easy enough. They actually, I was surprised how easy they popped out of here, especially with that closed back. All right, so if you're going to do a lot of beads, I recommend you get some disposable needle tip things, so needle tip dispensers, so you could get it in there, or like a tiny little syringe. It would be a lot easier. Okay, I'm going to do, I'm not sure how many, maybe all of them, I'm not sure. I've got some sand in this little cup. I'm going to be using my clear hard type resin, UV resin, and then I will mix in the ashes into the sand once I have this ready. And then I'm going to use this on the bottom. And I've got my Light Wish resins out to use as the blue because they seem to be pretty good colors that she would probably like, because she likes the aquas and the teals. So I'm just going to get this ready before we add any ashes to it, and then we will add any more that we need if we need more. I don't want it too runny or it's just going to run into the other blue colors. If you have a dual UV light, it's awesome because you can cure it from both sides. You don't have to flip it over. You don't have to worry about your piece falling out if you have to flip it over. So I definitely recommend that. Okay, I'm just going to grab a tiny bit of ashes. Like I said, we do not need all of these. Just mix them into there. I'm going to set the rest of these aside and put them back into the little bag she gave me. Mix them up. And this way, if she has other children, aunts, or whoever, maybe he had a wife, she can give them a pendant. Okay, I'm just going to put it in each one. Probably a little thinner because I want to be able to have a clear layer go over this. So I don't want a ton of sand. And then I brought out the white that has glitter in it for the waves. This does not take very much. Oh, definitely not that much at all, especially the little one. I'll just do this side first, because I don't want to keep turning it and turning it. Make sure you have a long neck lighter to pop any bubbles. Okay, so I'm going to do my blues. Actually, I'm going to do a clear, just a little bit of clear right above the waves. Little buffer. And then a light blue, and then the little bit darker blue. And then you can combine them as you want to. Isn't that pretty? And then this blue, a little bit deeper. I'm just going to grab my scribe. You want to make sure it gets around that little clasp. I'm going to pop some bubbles. Want that blue up there a little bit. Just kind of combine it how you want it. I do want a little bit of the lighter one. Then when you get it how you want it, we're going to cure it. And then we'll do a layer with the white and clear next. Okay, oh, that looks nice. I like the way that worked. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I took out 2 starfish for the 2 big ones, I think. I'm first going to put some clear down. Let me try it on this one first. I can't remember how I did it. And some white in there. I hope this white is white enough. That's the problem I'm thinking. Or I may just mix up my own white. Push this back for you. I don't know if this is going to be white enough, but I like the little glitter part of it. But it's not going to be white enough. So I think I will mix up a little bit of my own white. And that is this, just my clear resin with some pigment paste in there. Just barely. I think I'll do my alcohol ink. I'm gonna use my Pinata, because the white, all I'm seeing is the glitter. I'm not seeing any of the white. Not too much, because you want it to be able to cure. Now I'm just gonna take this give it a little bit of wave effect, and I think I'll do one at a time at this point, because I don't want it to move before I can get it done the way I wanted it. Like, once I have it the way I want, I don't want it to move, is what I mean. And then I'll go over the top with one more coat of the clear as soon as they're all done. I just want it to set. I don't really need it to like cure. I just want it to set where it's not going to move. So let's do the next one. Just gonna grab my white. I know the light's on, but it's giving me a few seconds. All right, let's do the big one. Where's my resin? Here it is. Now this one I want a starfish on. I'm not trying to completely fill it up. I'm just doing enough to coat it because I want another layer over the white. So I think I'll put my starfish in first. That way I can do the waves how I want over the starfish. This is definitely going to need a layer over him. Get some white. I do the worst on video with these little pendants, you guys. So I'm sorry if you haven't seen anything. I don't know until I actually edit this what I did. Just kind of move it around how you want. A little down, a little up. And then get it set. And then we'll do the other side. Okay, so what I did was I went over with another clear coat and I've got them cured, but I'm gonna leave them in here until we're done with this side just to give them some extra time in the light. So I'm thinking, she's not from Florida. Maybe she doesn't want all 6 beach scenes. So what else can I do? So I think what I'm going to do is use some dried pressed flowers, and in blue and in purple in these. Well, at least 2 of them, the 2 bigger ones. And kind of use the sand as the ground. Oh, that fit perfectly. Look at that. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do first is put some sand over that part. No. Let me get these out. I meant to put a layer of clear down first. This way there's not any no leaves sticking to the back of out the back of it, not to the back of it. I don't need a lot. I'm just going to move this around a little bit. Just something for the leaf to stick to, the flowers. And then I'll add some more as soon as I get it down in there. All right, let's do this again. Press these down in there. Perfect. I'm going to put this one in the middle one. There we go. Now I'm going to put the sand on. Just a small amount at the bottom. And then we'll put the flowers on. So I have blue and purple. So I'm building it up from the back so we could see exactly what they will look like. I don't want a whole lot, just a tiny little bit. And then I'm going to cover those with clear. We'll do a couple layers. You don't need to do it all at once. I'll think about what I'm going to do with the little one. If I do anything, I still want to use up, I want to use the sand that I mixed. So maybe I will do a tiny little beach one. Or maybe I'll fill it the whole thing and put a little charm in. Those always look cool. I'm just going to put a little bit more in. again, we'll build up the layers. Pop bubbles. Get that flower underneath. There we go. All right, I'm just gonna cure these. I'll build them up and we'll come back when they're ready. All right, they were curing for 5 minutes. They should be good. I took the rest of the sand and put it in a keychain with another tree of life for her. They are pretty good. I'm going to pull them all out, and I'm probably going to back coat them all after I trim them up. See, all these edges need trimmed. And I think I'm going to cure them again out of the mold before I do a back coat. Just because they had to penetrate and the sand was kind of sandy and I could see it's a little bit wet. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this back on. Whoops, if they're not lined up, if these little metal pieces are not lined up, the bottom light won't go on. Okay, I'm just going to let that cure for a couple minutes while I clean out the molds. I will back coat them, trim them up, and get them all set, and we'll do a final reveal for them. Everything is cured. Let's get to it. So the 2 pendants. One, I put a little butterfly with rhinestones on. And then here's the little beach one. Trying to show that you could see through it. And then we have the purple one. Super pretty. And then the medium size beach one, the waves. I'll try to get good pictures for you. I know there's a glare all the time in here. This is the one with all the sand, and I put a little bird charm on with the tree. That's better. I back coated everything, got everything smooth. I back coated all of them this time. Just to cover up everything, cover up the sand, cover up the leaves. And then here is the blue one with a bird, a tassel. Stop from keeping my hand behind it so you could see through it. Nice and clear. And then here's the back. And then the large beach one, I put a sand dollar on. If you guys don't know, there is a meaning behind the sand dollar. You should go read it. It's really interesting. So there is a purpose to the sand dollar on the beach one. Okay, so let's move these aside. Let's get these out first and see what these little beads look like. So you can see some of the sparkle dust. I should have put more in. Most of it's on the side. You could see a little bit on the sides, but not too much. So I basically have a little cup, and I'm going to fill it with all different colors. Yeah, they're all about the same. So a little sparkle dust on the top. I should have put more in. So I'll just get all these out. I'm so afraid of pulling that off. Eventually they're gonna pop off like my pendant ones do all the time because I use them so often. All right, let's see these. I don't know what shape they are. Oh, they're like well, that's a cool little shape. Those are pretty. Can you see the shape of it? I don't even know what that shape is called, but it's super cool. Whoops. All right, let me just get all these out. I'll probably buy some beads the next time I'm at Michael's or Hobby Lobby so I could put some beads in between the beads. You know what I mean? Like sparkly ones, like rhinestoney ones. just to change it up between my own beads. Oh, these are cute. These are like circular. Yeah, I wish I would have put more glitter in there. So these are mostly black with a hint of the glitter. How fun. Who knew that you can make your own beads? I never would have guessed. All right, now let's get to this. Let's open this up. There's, oh, I didn't realize it had a shape to it. So there's like a heart right here in the center and some, you see the lines the way it is? So it's raised to the heart in the center. That's cool. I had no idea. Oh, I guess I see it in here. Super cool. All right, hopefully this is the color she wanted. I see purple and I see blue. There it is, purple and blue. The best of both worlds. And there is the top. So I'm going to come up with a way to finish this off for her. And I will come back and show you the final results. Okay, that is done. What do you think? I didn't have purple rhinestones, so I used my opal ones, which look good with the silver. And then I took a smaller size of the same rhinestone and I went around the whole bottom ledge. So that it is the video, you guys. What do you think? Little bit of something, little surprises for Shauna. Shauna, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you love everything. Here's the inside again, the purple and the blue. I will get you guys some final pictures. This is still drying though, so we'll wait till it's done. All right, you guys, I hope you guys all have a blessed day. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.